Welcome back to the daily event. So, took off my headphones. So, this note here is very simple. I am triggered by emojis beyond the basic yellow. So this, I think my train of thought at the time was that emojis are kind of a example of like how wokeness has affected things. Because I think, as far as I can remember, this is like probably back in like 2008 or 2009, something around that time. In the earlier days, I'm pretty sure the only emojis were yellow. And we're talking like such a like stark or saturated version of yellow that like no one healthy is that color, right? And it's kind of like emojis were like the original kind of example. Like I remember hearing like somebody talk about the first Avatar movie, and like because like it was so successful, and it's like maybe why everybody related to the Na'vi in Avatar was because nobody is blue, so everybody could like relate to them because nobody is that, so everybody could equally relate to them because nobody is that color. Like I might be butchering what the one person said. I'm not sure if it was somebody from Funhouse, like the YouTube channel Funhouse, back in the day, who is now part of, or Funhouse is part of Rooster Teeth, but before that it was, I think, was it Inside Gaming Daily? That's like a throwback, like a while ago, like 10 years roughly, 10-ish years. Anyway, so it might have been him or it might have been somebody else that said that, or maybe he was quoting somebody else. But anyway, moving on. So if that like psychological thing is true of where when everybody can like equally relate to something because nobody is that thing, right? Where it's basically like you're taking out the visual characteristic, like in this case skin color. Like there's other characteristics like the Na'vi and Avatar like look humanoid. So like there's some level of resemblance, but it's like nobody is blue. So because nobody is blue I just gotta turn off my notifications really quick. Just because I don't want like making noises and stuff. Is it possible that like because nobody is blue, everybody can equally relate to those characters? And so in the same way with emojis, is it possible that everybody could equally relate to the original basic yellow emojis because nobody is that color? And so what kind of triggers me is it's like, I think emojis originally, at least the vibe I may have gotten at the time when I wrote this note, is that like everybody can equally relate to when you use a yellow thumbs up because like nobody's that color yellow. So it equally applies to everyone because no one is that color. So like when they started to make like the racialized emojis, to use that phraseology, it's like, guys, like it was fine before. Like why are we doing this? This is why almost like for the most part I'm like almost anti using any of the skin colored emojis, like whether it's white, brown, black, whatever shade. It's like I just go with like the OG yellow because it's like I feel like that's kind of like what emojis were supposed to be. Like we had it worked out and then we like racialized everything, and like you could argue that this is like a result of like how culture has been changed into this like super race conscious thing, and woke ideology is kind of maybe contributed and infiltrated that. And so emojis are like one example of how it's played out like that, where like just if emojis are just supposed to represent emotions or responses or whatever, like a yellow thumbs up probably works for like everybody because nobody's that color at yellow, so like everybody can equally kind of apply themselves onto it or apply themselves to it or whatever. So I'm just kind of going over the same point over and over again, but it's like, why do we need to change it? Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of I think how you could view the original emoji design, and we should just go back to that. Like if we want a more equal society, we need to make all the emojis basic OG yellow again, right? Because no one is that color, right? So then it equally applies to everybody, right? Okay, let's do it. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it'd be kind of nice if it's like, if everybody is like equal and like we just want to think of each other as all just people, not white, black, brown, blue, whatever. If everybody's just people, like just have like one set of emojis that everybody uses. I might have clipped the mic there, I hit the cord. If everybody, just uses the same emojis, you know what I mean? So I'm going to leave that there because this topic isn't really worth going over any more crazier detail than that, probably, because I'm just kind of like harping on the same thing. So anyway,